Hi, it's Dan, and in this video I want to talk about how you need to be visible in your marketplace.
Waking up, feeling the taste of our fight last night.
Hey, it's Dan, hope you're well today. It's a very bright sunny day today. Just on my way to a beach cafe for some cheesecake. It's Friday, and Friday means cheesecake at the beach cafe for breakfast. Living the dream. So let's talk about being visible, shall we? Obviously we put out a lot of content, and it's not just content, we put out other people's content as well. We put out some clients' content, for example, as well. We post a lot of videos, a lot of images, we do a lot of podcasts. In fact, we've had our podcast for 8 years now. We've done almost 800 episodes. I think we've probably recorded more, but I think we've been released like 798 or something like that. So we've done a lot of content, and the whole point of putting content out is that we want to get noticed in the marketplace. We want people to listen to what we're saying, because we think we've got a lot of good things that people either want to hear or actually need to hear in terms of growing their business, you know, from a digital marketing point of view, or learning how to source properties, because we believe property is the long-term bank account that you should always have. You know, through thick and thin, property has always helped us, and will continue to help us. But obviously, you've got to be able to buy it. And the way that you buy it is by having a business, making a lot of money in your business, and moving that money over to your property, right? That's how it should work. And so, you know, that's the kind of whole top-down view. But when we drill down into the smaller bits about how do you actually do that? Like, how do you sell more? Well, how can you sell more if you don't produce content? And this is the bit that I kind of don't get, and I've never really understood. It's so obvious to me, and this is why we do so much content, because I want it to be obvious to you. If I'm selling mobile phones, and I want you to come to my mobile phone shop, I have to find a way of promoting my offers, or my service, or my new iPhone, or whatever it happens to be. I have to find a way of actually doing that and putting that information out there, so people go, oh, that's what I want to buy, and then they come to my shop. And so, yeah, you might have footfall, people walking past your store, but how can you increase that? And the way that you increase that is that you move the footfall from a physical store into a virtual store. So now you're moving it online, so you might have your website. Well, how do people find your website? Yes, search engine optimization, maybe. But the big one is just content. Like, you've got people sat there on Facebook waiting for you. They all have needs of what they want, and you've got to put yourself into a position where you're being put in front of those people that might want to buy what you've got on a regular basis. And if you can do that and remain consistent, and more people get to see you for your content, for your service, for your products, and so on and so on and so on. If you can get yourself into a position where you're actually doing that, then obviously you're going to make more sales. It goes without saying, surely. And yet, here we are telling people that they need to put more content in place and so on. And, you know, if you think about it, if you've got 100 people watching your content, or you've got 1,000 people watching your content, or let me put it another way, if you've got 100 people who know about you, and 1,000 people know about you, which one of those do you think is going to sell more? The one with 1,000 followers, or 1,000 views, or whatever it is, right? So you might only get 4 views per video. That's fine, 200 videos, 5 views per video, 200 videos, that's 1,000. And you're like, oh, that's how it works. And then, yeah, you're only getting 4 views per video, but that's on day 1. But by the time you get to day 200, you're getting, I don't know, let's say it's not a lot, let's say it's 25 views per video. Well, that's still quite a lot. Now your next 10 videos is getting 250 people, whereas before your first 10 videos were getting you 40 people. And then after that, maybe you're getting 100 views per video, and you're like, well, that's not a lot. But then the next 10 videos at 100 people per video is 1,000 people. Whereas your 10 first videos at 4 people was 40. That's 22 times more people going to see your stuff. And so people kind of don't do it because they're like, oh, well, I only got 2 views. Oh, it doesn't work. It never works when you're only doing one video and you're just testing it. It never works. My videos were atrocious when I first started out, and some people will tell me, Dan, your videos are still atrocious, and that's alright. I'm happy with that. And sometimes we get 10 views on a video. Other times, just last week, we had one video, it had almost 3,000 views. On a single video, 3,000 views. Now, we don't know how much those people actually watched that video. It was a short, it was probably about 35 seconds. People probably watched most of it, about 70% before we went on to the next one. And it's the same with this video. We'll pull this out into a short, we'll put it out on YouTube and Facebook. And by the way, that nearly 3,000 people was just on YouTube. Bear in mind that we upload to LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. Like at the moment, my average videos get about 250 views on TikTok. It's not a huge amount. But when we first started, it was getting 16 views. I'll take that. It's a 10-fold increase on the number of views. And if we keep putting videos out on TikTok, do you think that might go to 500, 1,000 people? Do you think some of those people will then start to follow us and start listening to what we're saying? And then eventually they'll hopefully buy? Yeah, it goes without saying. It has to happen like that. But it won't happen if you're not actually putting the content out. And I guess I get why you don't put the content out, because you're like, well, there's no point, I'm not getting views. But you don't get views to begin with. You have to put a lot of content out. To move the needle, we just did a podcast about this, move the needle, you've got to put out such a huge amount of video content. It's hard, there's no question about it. But then, isn't everything hard? Isn't making sales hard? Isn't being skin hard? Isn't not making sales even harder? And then what else are you doing? If you're not making any sales, or not making enough sales, what else are you doing with your time if you're not making enough sales? Like literally, what are you doing? When really you should be posting content out on a regular basis. What are you doing with your hours and your time? If you're not posting content and creating content, you're literally wasting your time. Because the content, it's not just there for today, but it's there for all the other times as well. Anyway, we are at our destination, so we will call it there. But I hope that's useful for you, and we'll speak to you on the next one. My name's Dan Latto. Have a good day. Take care.